Hey everyone, Markel here. Welcome to this brand new Hustleverse Explainer. Today, we're doing something I am incredibly excited about. We are going to decode the absolute magic behind a highly successful viral marketing post. Listen, in this training, we're not just going to consume content. We're going to pull back the curtain and completely reverse engineer it. We're talking the psychology, the underlying structure, and the exact blueprint a creator used to grab massive attention and turn it into real-world value. If you have ever found yourself wondering why some posts literally stop you in your tracks, while others are just, white noise, you are going to absolutely love this breakdown. Okay, let's dive into this. $11,000. I want you to just hold that massive number in your head for a second, because this is the ultimate payoff claimed in the viral post we're tearing down today. It's a bold number, right? It's highly specific, and it instantly establishes huge stakes and a massive return on investment. It's that promise of a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and it's exactly the kind of thing that gets people to stop whatever they're doing and pay close attention. And here is exactly how they pitched that massive number. This is the exact scroll-stopping hook used by creator Wing Alex Benson that sparked just incredible curiosity and engagement all over the internet. Quote, "I gave Claude a $750 budget and told it to make money. 30 days later, it returned with $11,000. Just think about why that works so brilliantly. It's punchy. It gives you an exact 30-day timeline. It specifically mentions an AI tool, Claude, and it promises this crazy transformation from a tiny budget to a massive return. It's literally engineered to make you crave the rest of the story. And honestly, rather than getting caught up in whether this story is 100% verified truth or maybe a bit embellished, we need to study the underlying psychology of why it actually works so well. So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The AI avatar scroll stopper. 2. The case study illusion. 3. Decoding the content blueprint. 4. The real monetization engine. And 5. How to steal the framework ethically.
All right, kicking things off with part 1, the AI avatar scroll stopper, grabbing attention visually. Before anyone reads your brilliant copy, you have to break their pattern. So the creator didn't just throw up a generic, attractive AI headshot. They did something way smarter. They placed this AI avatar in a totally unexpected environment, a bathroom. You can literally see a shower and a toilet right there in the background. It creates this bizarre visual contrast. Your brain instantly goes, wait, hold on, what is happening here? Why is she in a bathroom? It's just confusing enough to make you pause. And you know how it is in online marketing? A 2-second pause is all you need to get them to read that very first line of text.
Moving right along to part 2, the case study illusion, structuring the fantasy. Let's look at the psychology here. This strategy taps directly into FOMO, the fear of missing out. By framing it as, here's what the AI did each day, the creator opens a loop. And our brains absolutely hate open loops. It triggers this intense psychological itch to close that gap in our knowledge. You immediately start wondering, what specific tools did they use? What exact steps did they take? And most importantly, can I go copy this right now? The creator masterfully drips out these answers, day by day, right down in the comment section. This really highlights a massive difference in how we approach content strategy. A standard results post just says, hey, look at how much money I made. People see it, maybe they feel a little jealous, and they just keep scrolling. It's so easy to dismiss. But a process narrative that says, here is the step-by-step journey and methodology I actually followed, it feels like you're getting an insider secret, right? It's the exact same psychology used in fitness transformations. You aren't just selling the end result. The story itself is what actually sells the solution.
Which brings us to part 3, decoding the content blueprint, the 30-day breakdown. How exactly did they deliver this narrative?
Down in the comments, the creator dropped an absolute structural goldmine. Day 1, zeroing in on niche selection. Days 2 through 5, gathering competitive intel. Days 6 through 15 were all about pure production. Days 16 through 25, optimization, reviewing analytics, making tweaks. And finally, days 26 through 30 were designed to scale the winners. This kind of structural transparency is just unbelievably powerful. It makes the audience feel like they are getting a premium, paid course outline entirely for free, and that keeps them hanging on to every single word. To make this whole timeline feel even more grounded, the creator peppered the story with these highly specific technical statistics. They claimed Claude analyzed exactly 847 active channels, found a format hitting a 340% higher click-through rate, and figured out that keeping hooks under 12 seconds meant over 60% retention at the 30% mark of the video.
If you do any content creation, you know that keeping viewers past that initial 3-second drop-off is literally everything to the algorithm. By dropping these hyper-specific numbers, the creator doesn't just look like a lucky guy. They position themselves as an absolute, trusted, data-driven expert. All right, part 4, the real monetization engine, how the money is actually made. This is where things get really interesting. So, the crucial point is we've reached the twist. This is the part most people completely miss when they're mindlessly scrolling. The AI, Claude, didn't magically print $11,000 out of thin air. Nope. A meticulously crafted marketing funnel did. Check out this 4-step machine that converts passive scrollers into paying customers. Step 1, post that viral hook we just looked at, disguised as a case study. Step 2, at the end of the story, tell users to comment the word guide for more info. Step 3, funnel everyone who comments straight into a free live training session. And step 4, this is where the magic happens. On that free live training, you pitch a high-ticket upsell, a course, coaching, or an affiliate offer on the back end. The $11,000 wasn't necessarily ad revenue from a YouTube channel. The real money was generated right here, in the back end of this funnel. And you know what? It worked brilliantly. When this breakdown was analyzed, the post had already generated at least 84 comments of people typing that exact word, guide. That is 84 highly qualified leads. These are people who read the story, believed the data, felt the FOMO, and literally raised their hands. Funneling dozens of warm leads directly into a live training, that is an absolute masterclass in conversion. Finally, part 5, steal the framework ethically, recreating the strategy for your business. Let's talk about how you can actually use this. So the original post claimed a $750 investment. That budget was split up, $250 on various AI tools and subscriptions, and $500 outsourcing to Upwork editors for about $25 a video. Listen, building a profitable business is always going to require an investment. There's no way around it. You're either going to invest your money to have someone else do it fast, or you're going to invest your time to learn the skills and build it yourself. Let's actually compare how this is usually done versus the Hustleverse route. The traditional route from the post means stacking up expensive, recurring monthly subscriptions, relying on generic stock footage that everyone and their mother is using, and paying freelancers $25 for every single video. Man, that adds up fast, especially if you're trying to post daily. The Hustleverse strategy is totally different. We are big fans of utilizing one-time, lifetime access AI tools so you aren't bleeding monthly fees. We generate unlimited original B-roll using AI so the content actually looks unique. And by investing your time upfront to master these skills, you drastically lower your financial risk while keeping total control over your engine. The core Hustleverse principle here is simple, guys. Study successful marketing to identify the underlying framework and then adapt it with your own unique skills, creativity, and value. Don't just blindly copy surface-level content. Which brings us to the ultimate question I have for you today. The next time you're scrolling and a post absolutely stops you in your tracks, what are you going to do? Will you just consume it like everybody else? Or will you take a step back, look at the framework, reverse engineer it, and use those exact same psychological triggers and funnel structures to build your own profitable engine? The blueprint is right there. It's totally up to you to build it. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you build.
Freedom ain't the weekend. It's a mindset. It's that moment you realize your time is the real currency. We don't clock out. We cash in on purpose. Welcome to Freedom Friday. Monday start with vision, Friday end with proof. I ain't built no luck, I built the truth. 17 weeks, no breaks, no flinch. Consistency, my cloth, can't tear an inch. The grind feels sacred when you know your lane. Turn struggle to syllabus, pressure to gain. I used to chase weekends, now I own my days. Design my time, redefine pay. Boss on my rhythm, freedom in sight. Every scroll I wrote got another so right. They talk hustle, but they miss the plan. Work for peace, that's the real demand. From the live to the link to the legacy taught. I ain't sold out, I sold thoughts that bought. Every small trickle now flows like rain. Freedom Friday, I broke those chains.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong are we rise.
I earn my rest cause I earn my grind. Peace ain't cheap when you bought your time. Every no I heard was a lesson taught. Every delay was a seed I bought. From comment credits to crowns of faith. Freedom Friday ain't a date, it's a state. Made discipline sexy, consistency cool. I ain't follow they trend, I rewrote the rule. Hustle berry sing the souls back home. While I talk numbers on a microphone. Edutainment the vibe, we built this bridge. Music meet money on the same bridge. Friday ain't weak, it's strong by design. Freedom the fruit of a disciplined mind. Celebrate now, we ain't done by far. We ain't chasing weekends, we chasing stars.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Let go that fear, we rise and strive. Strong all week now.
They say the grind don't sleep, I let peace work shift. I ain't burnt out, I refine my gift. Scroll after scroll, turn story to seed. Now faith pay interest on everything I lead. I ain't waiting on Friday to feel alive. Every day now got that freedom vibe. No clock in, no boss tone calling. Self-made CEO of my morning. Used to measure worth by the payday sums. Now I measure peace by how calm I become. From dark weeks to bright ends we grow. Freedom ain't luck, it's what we know. Built my legacy off discipline say. Now every Friday feels like heaven's pay. Hustle bear, let it berry harmonize. Freedom Friday, we monetize the rise.
It's Freedom Friday, we made it through the grind. Oh yeah, time to free your peace of mind. Strong all week now, watch us fly. It's Freedom Friday, we built this we built this life. We built this life.
At 12:17 a.m., Darius boarded the last bus out of Black Hollow. He chose a seat near the back and watched the rain erase the town behind him. Then, he saw her. Not in the aisle, not in the seat behind him, only in the window. A woman with burgundy braids, staring from the reflection. Every time he looked back, the seat was empty. Then one overhead light went dark, then another. Darius called for the driver. No answer. The driver's seat was empty, but the bus was accelerating. When Darius turned around again, the woman was there, water running from her clothes. Behind her sat dozens of silent passengers. Every face was black, every eye fixed on him, every body soaked as if dragged from a river. The woman leaned close. "You finally came back." And Darius remembered. 18 years earlier, a bus plunged from Black Hollow Bridge. 42 people vanished. Only one passenger survived, Darius. The bus filled with freezing water. Hands struck the glass. Darius fought toward the exit, but the doors would not open. Just before dawn, the bus stopped. The woman stepped onto the road, dry as bone. Darius pounded the window from inside as the bus rolled back into the fog. The last bus always leaves one seat open. Tonight, it finally took him home.
I give you food for action, don't choke on the truth. This lesson I prepare was made just for you. Feast up, I'll keep serving till the pot run dry. Got enough cooking to feed the whole country, no lie. Too many flavors, you know, I got what you like. Don't start beefing with me, you won't win this fight. If you come in peace, keep your teeth intact. I got a plan to get this cake, come grab a stack. Life could be sweet, if you listen, you'll see. Food for action on a platter, served fresh by me. I'm serving knowledge on plates, got the recipe down. A blend of hustle and wisdom, that's my sound. I'm feeding the masses, no crumbs, full course. But if you bring nothing to the table, find the door. Stop acting like you got beef, it won't taste right. This flavor's reserved for those ready.
Okay, family, we are live. We are live. And once again, I want to welcome you guys back to another episode of the Hustlers 10-Minute a Day Challenge. Today is Strong 60, day 5, and we are right at 17 minutes into today's challenge. So I just want to say this. Today is a special day. It's another one of those milestone special days. And as I peel the curtain back, you know what we about to do. We're about to expose the most valuable document in all of online marketing, now valued at $4,997. This document right here is so valuable. It's helped me reach this milestone. And we got more to go. We got a lot more to go. So today marks 300 consistent live streams. 300 times that I have pulled myself up out of bed and said, hey, one more time. 300 times that I said to myself, hey, what am I going to talk about today? What value am I going to bring to my community so that they can walk away with something tangible, something that they can actually, internalize, something that they can use to have a mindset switch, something that they can use and apply to their daily lives. Whether it's to build an online business, maybe your goal isn't even to build an online business, but maybe your goal is to just live a better, more fulfilled life. That's what we do here in the Hustleverse. As stated in that beginning, closing intro video, something that, I've played hundreds of times, literally. It says, I give you food for action. Don't choke on the truth. That's the truth. I give you food for action. And it says also, I got enough cooking to feed a whole country, no lie. So I've been giving you guys so many nuggets, so many tidbits, and so many, as we call them, jewels. But like one of my favorite rappers say, I'll give you the jewels. You have to be brave enough to wear them. It's all on you. Now, I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part every single day. And I've shown and proved that I'm the right person for the job. If you ever wanted an employee, let's say, somebody that you could count on, somebody that if you were to start a business today or tomorrow, and you thought to yourself, hey, who am I going to hire to do this job, to show up on a daily, consistent basis? Who can I hire to show up and actually do an amazing job, to get the job done? Well, I think I'm one of those ones. I'm one of those people that you can count on. I've shown and proved for 300 consistent episodes. Now, whether or not you showed up or not, that's never been any of my concern, because it's a journey. It's my personal journey. Now, if you decide that you want to come with me on my personal journey and you want to make my journey a extension, something that inspires you and motivates you on your personal journey, that's all up to you. You should be looking at me as a representative of what it looks like to be consistent, of what it looks like to go through growth and development. You should be looking at me as one of those, measuring sticks that says, hey, this is what it looks like in the beginning when a person just gets started on day one. How their flow might not be the same, how their flow might have a stutter or you know, inconsistency to it, to the point where, you look at that and you see, hey, come episode 100, this person is different. Their flow is different. The content is different. Their evolution, their growth has hit a new peak. They've reached the top of a particular mountain. Now, in a lot of my trainings, I talk about Success Mountain. So everything that I do, I tell you guys, is not something that just is a fly by night, one off thought. It's something that I've been constructing for years and years and years, even before the Hustlers 10 Minute a Day Challenge. I had a vision in my mind of where I wanted to take life and what I wanted to do and contribute to this online industry. And I found that I'm a little bit different from a lot of people. A lot of people get into this industry for, selfish reasons, and then they stay in this industry for those selfish reasons. Now, there's nothing wrong with being selfish when it comes to, thinking about creating a income from home for you, your family, and being able to support and take care of your immediate family. And then there's another, layer, another deeper journey, something that only a few people want to take on. And that's the journey of not only being able to take care of your family with the things that you've learned how to do, the things that you've created, the lessons that you've learned and that you've actually applied to your own life to help you get your level of success. But then there's a whole nother level where you decide that, hey, I'm not going to be a gatekeeper. I'm not going to keep it to myself. I'm going to actually share it with the masses, share it with all of the people that want this information. Now, everybody doesn't want the information that we have here inside the Hustleverse. That's okay. That's okay. Everybody chooses to go on their own personal journey. And some people's journey is like our character in the beginning, that beginning video, the next to last one. They get on a bus, they get on a journey, and they don't know where it's going to end. But as you saw the character's face in the beginning of that video, he was already frazzled. He already looked like, he was having a bad day. He already looked like he was possibly anticipating something going wrong. So he got on the bus anyway. He sat down. He sat down nervous, knowing that, this bus is going to take him on a trip, but not knowing that that bus was going to get into an accident. Not knowing that, he was still going to survive, but, it still was going to be a horrible ride. And the bus, it kept him at the end. It kept him on that bus. It kept him on that bus, and he continued on that ride. He became a ghost, basically. It's kind of like in those movies where, the person doesn't realize that they've been through a situation, or that they've already, left this planet. I forget, the name of that movie, but it's like that Bruce Willis movie, right? He didn't realize he was a ghost, right? But he kept going on the same journey. So that character, that character could represent you on a daily basis. You've already been through it. You've already had the tragic situation, the crash, but you still stay on that bus. Some of you, you feel like you're trapped on that bus, so the doors feel like they're locked behind you. And this is the only route that you can take. This is the only thing that you can do. But there's a chosen few people that decide that, we're going to pry that door open. We're going to open up that door. We're going to get off this bus. We're going to get off this hamster wheel. And we're going to change what it is that we're experiencing on a daily basis. And that only happens by choice. So if you choose to do better, then you have the opportunity to live better. And that's all up to you. So on this episode right here, the 300th episode, I just want to reflect a little bit on the journey. I talked about it a little bit in yesterday's live. So I'm not going to beat it to death today because still, today is Freedom Friday. And we have a system, we have a blueprint now that we implement on our Freedom Friday, right? So we continue on with consistency as we always do. We build consistent blueprints, we build consistent strategies, and we follow those strategies and we use those strategies as leverage. And then once when we use those strategies consistently enough, they become muscle memory. They become things that we do automatically, and it becomes easier and easier and easier. And one of the main purposes of doing that, even though it might seem repetitive, there's a couple of things that goes on when you do repetitive things. Now, for your audience, it conditions them to know what to expect. So if somebody comes in on a Monday and they see you doing one thing, and then they come in on a Tuesday and they see you doing the same thing, and then Wednesday and a Thursday, then by Friday, they're going to come in knowing what to expect. So being consistent, being something constant that a person can rely on is a strong blueprint because now they don't have to worry. It's kind of like being in a relationship with somebody. You get to meet somebody, you get to like their personality. They represent themselves as being a particular type of person. Then you go through the stage of you thinking to yourself, okay, this person is cool. Let's go out on a couple of more dates. Let me go see how they are in this environment, in that environment. Let me see how they are once when, they invite me to their home. What are they doing around their house? But not just let me come by one time and witness it because, the first time, they got everything cleaned up. Everything smells good. They decided that they want to cook for you and you feel like you in heaven. You feel like you in heaven. You feel like, damn, this person is cool. I think I like this person. Then you say to yourself, something that could have been a one-off situation. Then you push the issue of, let me come back again and again. 5 times you come back and they still have the same consistent habits. Smells the same, smells good. They're in there, they cooked you another meal. You're like, damn, if we continue on like this, I'm gonna end up getting fat. Then you start anticipating where this consistency is going to lead you to if you decide to stay with this person. So this is the mindset switch that I always want my audience to have. I don't want you to just look and watch and, say, okay, it's the Hustlers 10 Minute a Day Challenge. I'm not going to take part in this masterfully laid out blueprint right here that's going to help me build consistency in my life. That's going to help inspire and motivate me and also my audience. I'm not going to follow this challenge that gives me a blueprint that I can do on a daily basis. And once when I do it on a daily basis, it becomes part of muscle memory. And once when it becomes part of muscle memory, it becomes one of those things that, I don't have to think about doing. It becomes one of those things that's like an extension of my body, a third arm, so to speak. Now, when something becomes an extension like that and it becomes muscle memory, then that means that your mind already has that configured within your habit. And now the next step is to add more habits because it's going to be hard to implement 100 different things. and be consistent with 100 different things all at once. See, that's one of the biggest challenges in online marketing. People get into an industry and they're told that, at first they're hooked in as it was talked about in that beginning training, right? See, we always have to refer back to the information we're given. We're given all the tools, we're given all the information, but most of us ignore the information that we're given. And then we say, hey, where's the key to success? Well, the key to success was already given. But you have to pay attention to the nuggets. So you have to be willing to accept that there's a message in the bottle, as they say. So you go on a journey and you say, okay, this is the steps. Consistency, being willing to show up, knowing the blueprint, activating the blueprint, building that muscle memory. And then when you have that muscle memory built in one thing, then you can add on more. But once again, the problem is most people, they take on 100 things. They start a business opportunity, and the person that gets them started, at first they tell them, you don't need this, you don't need that. They try to simplify it to you. They try to tell you that there's a simple, easy way to do it. You don't need tech skills. You don't need any experience. Now you're thinking that, okay, I might only have to learn one thing. And then once when they hook you in, once when they get you involved in the opportunity, that's when you learn, oh shit, there's 100 different things that I need to do. And now you're scrambling. Now you feel as though you need to do all 100 of those things, and you're doing this. Then you jump here. Then you see this product, you start promoting this product. Then somebody comes out with another one, you start promoting that product. You're jumping here, there, everywhere, and you never build that consistent muscle memory on one particular thing, one particular lesson, one particular skill. And that's when things fall apart, because repetition is one of the biggest keys to success. It might be boring. It's cool. Do it boring. Do some of the boring things, but also implement it in a way that, find a way to implement it in a way that's kind of fun, that can bring you some enjoyment. And that's what we do here in the Hustleverse. But your biggest challenge is this: keeping things together and picking and choosing what you need to focus on, and understanding what it is that you need to focus on, one piece at a time. Do it over and over and over and over and over again. And then add on to it once when you get comfortable and it becomes that muscle memory, so that those 100 things, after a while, adding one piece on or two pieces on that you can handle at a time. Once when you go from day one of doing something and you say, okay, by day 100, I got the theme down. I know my intro is going to be this. I know the next video is going to be that. I know the third is going to be something like this. And I know the fourth is going to be something like this. That's been my format, right? I usually give you 4 videos, 4 intro videos, a variety. As I state, once again, a food for action. Too many flavors, I got what you like, right? That's what it says in the intro song, right? It's not just something that's just made up. It's something that I live by. It's something that you can count on as being consistent. And that's what you need to build for yourself. That's what you need to build for yourself and your audience. Now, once again, whether or not you show up for it, or whether or not your audience shows up for it, is not for them to necessarily show up. It's for you to show up. It's for you to become the person that's worthy of having one person show up, 2 people show up, 10, 100, 1,000 people show up. Because one of the other keys to success is you never want to take on, once again, more than you can handle. They say, how do you eat a shark? Well, the easiest way to eat a shark is one piece at a time. Imagine you starting off on day one doing a live. And most people have a fear of public speaking anyway. So the idea of starting it, doing a live, and then first thinking to yourself, well, damn, I don't even have a big audience. So nobody might show up anyway. One or two people might show up anyway. And you're nervous with just that thought of one or two people showing up. But imagine somebody put the whole shark in front of you. Somebody on day one gives you an audience of 100 or 1,000 people or 10,000 people. And now things is crazy. You got all of this stuff around you and they expect you to eat everything. You're looking at all of these faces looking back at you. You're looking at all of these comments speaking to you, and you're just on day one. You don't have a flow. You don't know what to say. And now you're even more frazzled. You're in a worse situation. So never look to be in a better position than you can actually handle. So that's why progress is everything. Building towards, the next step. Building from day one to a day 300. So I just wanted to give you guys a little, food for action as usual. I've been using that phrase food for action for I don't know how many years now, at least 5, 10 years. So that's been a consistent theme. And that's something that I want you guys to have. Consistency. I want you to build something that's built for longevity. So that means that you're going to have to stay focused. You're going to have to stay the course. You're going to have to be part of systems and blueprints that are designed to last. Now, we've been here over a year, and this blueprint is changed a little bit. We've added on, bits and pieces. And I foresee in the future we'll add on more pieces. But we only want to add on more pieces once when you have gotten comfortable with the current pieces. Once when you've gotten comfortable and started doing the basic foundational things. We already know what the foundational things are. We have one of those foundations right here. Was considered to be the second line in the document where it says grab your mega link. If you haven't gotten there yet, then there's no point in me adding on too many additional things, because that just shows me that you're not willing to take the basic steps. And if you're not willing to take the basic steps, that means that if we was in a employer situation, that you wouldn't be a good employee. You're not the type of person to follow instructions. You're not the type of person that to do what's necessary. You're not the type of person that I could depend on to show up on a daily basis. And if you do show up on a daily basis, then more than likely you're not the type of person that's going to, do the other aspects of the job right. You might just be showing up for a paycheck just to be a seat filler, neglecting the customers, neglecting yourself because you're not learning about the business in order to be a better, representative of the business. These are the things that I think about. And this is why part of the reason why this document is so valuable, because it helps identify who's the real people, who's the best candidate. If we were judging people and saying, hey, who's the top 10 out of the 100 people who have access to this document? And we see that they don't show up on a daily basis, or they show up, they're there, but they don't show up with a song. Who do you trust then when it's time to elevate and partner with, and you want to expand and you want to open up another shop somewhere, another store? Well, I guess you have to pick from the best candidates that you have, or you have to go outside and hire somebody outside of the business. And you know how that is. Have you ever been in a situation where you work for a company and you hear about a new position, a new higher position, a new higher paid position, and you say to yourself, damn, I think I would be perfect for that. I'm the best person for it. You start talking with your other coworkers and, they start to feel the same way. I think I could do the job too. And you like, yeah, well, you thinking to yourself, well, you don't show up, you don't do all your work. At least I do a little bit more than you, blah, blah, blah. And everybody has this opinion that they're the ones that's going to get this position. And then later on, they're having a meeting in the office and the owner comes in or the manager comes in and says, hey, we filled this position. And everybody gets excited because they're thinking, hey, somebody in this room is going to have it. Who's going to be in charge? Who's going to get this position? And then they show that it's somebody you've never seen before. Somebody that came from outside of the business, and they have all these accolades, and they've shown and proved that they're able to perform at another job or another position. And they've done great work. And that great work has been taken notice of. And now we have them here. That breeds resentment in your current employees to an extent. But it's business. It's business. And you might have gotten upset with your manager or your boss because of a situation like that. But that's you thinking with an employee mindset. Thinking that you're deserving of something that you're really not deserving of. And the employer, the business owner, is thinking about, as they say, what's best for business. And they're looking at the fact that you really didn't perform. You really didn't show that you deserve this position. And we had to do what we had to do and find somebody that was. So that's how you have to start thinking. You have to have that mindset switch. The majority of people who come in to online marketing, they have never been business owners. They're going from being employees. They try to juggle both. Matter of fact, they never stop being employees. They go to their 9-to-5 job in the daytime or the nighttime, and then they get online for a couple of hours. And they think, hey, I'm a boss. But they still have that employee mindset because they're not willing to do what's necessary at their 9-to-5 job. Because maybe if they were to present themselves like a boss in a 9-to-5 job, they would get those advancements. And maybe if they got those advancements, then they would be in a better position and they probably wouldn't even need or want to have an online business. See, it's not the environment that needs to change. It's not the opportunity that needs to change. In a lot of cases, it's you as the individual that needs to change to become a better person. So don't get online and think all of a sudden you're a different person and you're a better person and you deserve to have this, that, and the third. Whereas when you go to your 9-to-9 job, you're an underperformer. And then you want to blame it on, oh, well, I don't like this job anyway. You want to make excuses. Well, in your online business, you might be the same way. You might end up in a worse position. So, just wanted to talk to you guys today a little bit on Freedom Friday. And I want to continue on with the tradition. I'm going to hold you just for a little bit longer because this is one of those milestone achievements. And I want to pack it full of value. I want to give you value on top of value so that you don't forget what this episode was about. So right now, I want to buy back some of my time. And that's what we've been doing for the last few Fridays, right? We've built the blueprint. We built the system. and we want to implement that system. And part of that system is having a leverage system that actually allows us to buy back our time. And hopefully you're paying attention to what I'm doing so that you can think about what it is that you can possibly do in order to do the same for your business. So right now I'm going to transition on over to two of my business partners, right? The AI. And they're going to help me buy back some of my time. And they're going to give you some valuable information that you can take away and apply to help you build your business or just simply create a better overall life experience for yourself. Now, this, podcast style deep dive episode is going to further build on that intro training. We had talked about the individual Wang who did a post and it talked about the $11,000 AI funnel. And, I did a food for action video highlighting Wang's particular, post. And that's what the AI, that intro trainer was based off of. It was based off of the human video that I actually did. I took time to spotlight this individual and talk about what it is that he did. But I let my business partners, the AI, present it to you in a different way. So we had that intro training to give you, the basic format, the foundation of it. And now we're going to have two of my AI business partners give you the deeper dive into it. And the title of this one is Why the $11,000 Claude post worked. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed this 300th consistent live. We have given you consistent food for action where hopefully, the value that I've provided to you is valuable to you because you understand what real value is. And hopefully you use it and apply it to your daily life. So we're going to play this deep dive and then we're going to close out as we always do. And I look forward to continuing with you the next leg of the journey because starting next Monday, we head towards another mountaintop. That becomes more like day one. And, that starts the road to 400. Now, anything can happen in the next 100 lives. So I'm going to use all the muscle memory that I have built up, to be able to combat whatever, challenges might come for the next 100 lives. Hopefully, we don't break this consistency. Hopefully we continue to show up on a daily basis. Hopefully the universe doesn't throw anything in our way to keep us from showing up. But now that the muscle memory is already built up in me. So it's a natural occurrence for me to wake up at this time and present this value to you. So my part is solidified. Now it's the external things that we have to worry about. So with that, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Stay to the end of this live. Get more of the helpful information because this right here is going to be valuable for you also. And it's going to add an extra layer of depth and hopefully give the right person the light bulb moment they need. See you in the next video.
I'm going to read you a direct quote, and I want you to pay close attention to exactly how it makes you feel.
Okay, I'm ready.
The quote is this: I gave Claude a $750 budget and told it to make money. 30 days later, it returned with $11,000.
Wow.
I mean, that is a wildly compelling hook, especially for anyone trying to build an income online.
Right, because it promises this massive return.
Exactly. It promises a huge return, a super low barrier to entry, and, the magic of artificial intelligence just doing all the heavy lifting for you.
And that quote is actually the exact center of our deep dive today. We're decoding the hidden psychology behind viral content.
Which is such an important topic.
It really is.
Yeah.
So we're specifically looking at a Hustleverse training by a strategist named Markel. He took that exact quote, which comes from a highly successful affiliate marketing post by a creator named Wang Alex Benson, and he just completely deconstructed it.
Right, he broke the whole thing down.
Yeah. So our mission today is to figure out the architectural blueprint of why that post exploded and how you can apply those low-cost growth strategies to your own projects.
It is probably worth setting a boundary before we start unpacking the mechanics, though.
Oh, absolutely. What do you mean?
Well, we aren't here to, audit that creator's Dip account or debate whether that $11,000 figure is technically factual or, a slight exaggeration.
Right, because getting caught up in the dollar amount is actually part of the trap, isn't it?
It's the whole trap. We are here to study the architecture of the post. How does a specific sequence of words and images convert a casual, mindless scroller into a highly engaged lead?
It reminds me of the psychology behind a stage illusionist, honestly.
Oh, I like that comparison.
Yeah, like when you go see a really good stage magician, you never actually watch the hand that's doing the trick, do you?
Never. You're always looking at the wrong thing.
Exactly. You are entirely focused on the bright, flashy explosion happening on the exact opposite side of the stage. You walk into the theater knowing full well it's a trick, but you still look at the flash.
You can't help it.
Right. Okay, so let's unpack this.
Yeah.
How did this post create that initial flash? Because, before anyone reads a single word about an $11,000 return on investment, they have to physically stop scrolling.
And that physical act, just stopping a thumb on a glass screen, is arguably the hardest part of digital marketing.
Oh, for sure.
So Markel points out the very specific visual hook used in this post. It's an AI-generated avatar of a woman.
Okay, sounds normal enough.
Right, but she isn't in a boardroom or sitting at a laptop or on a beach. She is standing in a bathroom.
A bathroom.
Yes. You can clearly see a shower and a toilet visible in the background.
Okay, I have to push back on that immediately.
Okay.
Isn't just dropping a random, wildly out-of-place AI image of a bathroom a bit of a cheap trick? Why is this professional-looking avatar just hanging out next to a toilet? It feels like shock value.
It is shock value.
But does a tactic like that actually build an audience? Or does it just get a creator a fleeting 2-second glance before the user swipes away feeling annoyed?
What's fascinating here is that the feeling of annoyance, or more accurately, the feeling of confusion, is entirely the point.
Really? Just to confuse people?
Yeah, because you are asking the exact question the creator wants you to ask. Why is she in a bathroom?
Oh, I see.
Our brains are neurologically hardwired to pay attention to anomalies. When you scroll through a feed, your brain predicts what comes next.
Yeah, a selfie, a meme, a professional graphic, whatever.
Exactly. So when you see a sleek avatar next to a toilet, it breaks the visual pattern. But to your point about it being a fleeting glance, you are totally correct.
Okay, so it doesn't hold them.
No, that image only buys the creator about 3 seconds of attention. It is literally nothing more than the bait.
So if the bathroom anomaly only buys 3 seconds, what actually catches them before they leave?
The text placed immediately below that weird image.
It says what?
The caption simply reads, "Here's what it did each day."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That is a psychological mechanism called an open loop.
An open loop. I've heard that term thrown around in screenwriting, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's essentially leaving a plot thread dangling, so the audience has to keep watching to find out what happens.
Precisely. In psychology, it's related to the Zeigarnik effect.
The Zeigarnik effect.
Yeah. Basically, human beings have this deep cognitive discomfort with unfinished tasks or unresolved narratives.
Oh, we hate not knowing the ending.
Exactly. By saying, here's what it did each day, but not actually finishing the story in the image or the main caption, the creator intentionally leaves a cognitive itch.
Because they have to look for the answer.
Right. The only way for the audience to scratch that itch and resolve the tension is to go down into the comment section to read day 1, day 2, and so on.
That's brilliant.
It is. The creator has forced the user to transition from a passive scroller to an active participant simply to finish a story they didn't even ask to start.
That is wild. But, that transition is a massive hurdle to clear.
Huge hurdle.
Once you actually have them in the comments reading day one, you have a totally new problem. How do you convince them in a matter of seconds that this bizarre method is actually legitimate?
And that is where the architecture gets really smart.
Well, Markel shares a conversation he had with his AI copilot about this post, right? He asked the AI to analyze the psychology of the text in those comments.
Yeah. And the AI's response was super insightful.
It really was. The AI noted that the post is engineered as a case study fantasy and heavily utilizes a process narrative.
The process narrative, exactly.
But wait, I'm a little lost on that distinction. If they're showing actual data and daily steps, how is that a fantasy? I mean, isn't presenting data the very definition of providing proof?
That is the genius of a process narrative.
Okay, unpack that for me.
Well, a traditional results post just shows a screenshot of a bank account and says, look how much money I made.
Right, which nobody believes anymore.
Exactly. Consumers are highly skeptical of that today. A process narrative, however, says, look at this highly complex, mathematically rigorous journey I took.
Oh, so the data is just there for show.
Pretty much. The data isn't there to serve as auditable proof. It is there to create a feeling of overwhelming authority.
Let's look at the actual data dump the post uses because it is intense.
It is very intense.
The creator claims that on day one, the AI, Claude, analyzed 847 active YouTube channels.
That's an absurdly specific number.
Right, and supposedly cross-referenced RPM data, which, for anyone unfamiliar, is revenue per mil, basically the metric of how much YouTube pays you per 1,000 views.
Right. Highly technical jargon right off the bat.
Exactly. So it checks RPM data, subscriber growth velocity, and upload frequency. Then it claims to have found the highest opportunity niches, which it lists as personal finance, AI tools, and stoicism, stating they were all sitting above an $8 RPM.
The sheer volume of that data is meant to trigger cognitive overload.
And it goes even further. Days 2 through 5 talk about pulling the top 50 videos across competitor channels. It claims that 9 to 14-minute videos with curiosity gap titles averaged a 340% higher CTR.
Click-through rate.
Right, meaning the percentage of people who see the thumbnail and actually click it. It even throws in that hooks under 12 seconds, correlated with 60% viewer retention at the 30% mark.
It's just a wall of numbers.
I was reading that thinking it's exactly like a mechanic explaining what is wrong with a car engine.
Oh, that's a perfect comparison.
You know, you're standing in the garage and they're throwing out terms like catalytic converter calibration and fuel injection timing matrices.
Then you just nod along.
Right. I might not actually understand what a 340% higher CTR means in daily practice, but because they had the spreadsheets and the math, I just assume they are a genius.
That mechanic analogy is spot on. This level of technical jargon works incredibly well on readers who are not tech savvy.
It definitely works on me.
Markel points out that creators use this high-level information to make the process feel exclusive. It actually mirrors the psychology of a dramatic fitness transformation story.
Oh, how so?
The narrative sells you on the solution by completely overwhelming you with the complexity of the problem.
That makes total sense.
When you see statistics about retention hooks and niche baselines, your brain automatically defaults to trust. It creates this illusion that the creator holds the keys to a highly complex scientific system that you could never figure out on your own.
Wow. Okay, so the trap is completely set.
Right.
The creator has stopped the scroll with an anomaly, forced engagement through an open loop, and built this unshakable trust through cognitive overload and technical jargon.
Yes, step 1, 2, and 3 are complete.
Next, the post lays out the exact cost to replicate this complex system. And this brings up a vital lesson from the Hustleverse training for any budget-conscious creators listening.
A very necessary reality check.
For sure. So the viral post claims this whole execution costs exactly $750.
Which sounds very reasonable.
It does. The breakdown is $500 for Upwork editors, specifically paying a freelancer $25 per video for 10 videos. The remaining $250 goes to tools, mentioning software like 11 Labs for AI voiceovers, and pulling stock B-roll footage from sites like Pexels and Pixabay.
Yeah, to a beginner reading that post, a $750 investment for an $11,000 return sounds like an absolute lottery ticket.
Of course it does.
But Markel injects a heavy dose of reality here by exposing the hidden recurring math.
Let's do that math right now because it falls apart incredibly fast.
It really does.
spent years asking heaven, what am I supposed to do? Searching every distant mountain for a different point of view. Read another book, chased another map somebody drew. Thinking purpose wore a name tag I'd eventually run into. And one morning while creating, time quietly disappeared. Hours walked right past me, but somehow never left me tired. Funny how the word that fed my soul never felt like work. Even when it asked for every ounce of what I had first, I thought I was building songs, the songs were building me. Thought I was finding purpose, purpose had been finding me. The work found me long before I knew my name. Every little step I took was another spark becoming flame. The work found me, I just kept showing up each day.
If you are a new creator trying to aggressively grow a channel and you commit to making 2 videos a day, that Upwork editing strategy is going to cost you $50 a day.
Right.
That's $350 a week. That is $1,400 a month just on cheap editing labor.
Just for the bare minimum editing.
Throw in monthly subscriptions to AI voice tools and premium stock footage, and you are burning over $1,500 a month before you have ever made a single dime in ad revenue.
Exactly.
For the vast majority of beginners, that is a completely impossible runway to sustain.
Which is why taking a viral post at face value is so dangerous.
Totally.
It presents a snapshot of a budget, not the operational reality. But Markel doesn't just point out the flaw in the budget. He pivots to a core hustle-verse principle regarding how to actually solve it.
Right. And when you are building any sort of digital business, you have a fundamental choice in what you trade, right?
Yes. You must invest either your time or your money.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because a lot of people think the only way to scale is to outsource immediately.
Markel vehemently disagrees with that for beginners.
Oh, interesting. What's his alternative?
Instead of paying recurring monthly fees to software companies or hiring freelancers on Upwork to do the heavy lifting, he advocates for heavily investing your time up front to learn these high-value skills yourself.
Okay, so doing it all in-house.
Yes. He specifically targets those expensive monthly subscription tools. Instead of relying on a service that limits your voice generation credits and bills you every 30 days, he suggests finding one-time purchase, lifetime access AI tools.
That's smart.
Or even better, open source alternatives you can run locally if you have the hardware.
I can hear people objecting to this already, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, doesn't learning all of that take dozens, maybe hundreds of hours that a beginner simply doesn't have, especially if they're working a full-time job?
Yeah.
Is it really worth it to stumble through learning AI video generation just to save $25 and upload?
It is the difference between renting your business and owning your skills.
Owning your skills. I like that.
Yes, the initial time investment is steep, but it is a compounding return. If you rely on Upwork editors, the moment you run out of capital, your content machine shuts down instantly.
You're just dead in the water.
Exactly. But if you invest a weekend or two learning how to prompt an AI scriptwriter effectively, or learning how to use Midjourney or Runway to generate your own original AI B-roll, that skill belongs to you forever.
And there was a quality aspect to this as well, right?
Huge quality aspect.
Markel points out that pulling free B-roll from Pexels is fine, but every other lazy creator on the internet is using those exact same video clips.
Yes, the same guy typing on a laptop.
Or the same time-lapse of a city street.
Yeah.
If you invest the time to generate your own original B-roll, you not only save the capital you would have bled out to an editor, but your content ceases to look like a generic template. It actually stands out.
It fundamentally changes your position in the market. You transition from being a consumer of software services to becoming the master of your own production pipeline.
You take back the control.
Right. You insulate yourself from those overwhelming startup costs that bankrupt most new creators in their first 3 months.
All right, I need to take a step back and look at the whole board here, because the math on the creator side still feels off to me.
How so?
If running one of these channels costs so much to maintain, and the actual ad revenue on an $8 RPM might take months to build up to anything substantial, where did that $11,000 actually come from?
Ah, the million-dollar question.
Because we are treating this post like a diary entry of a YouTube success story, But I honestly don't buy that Claude magically generated 11 grand in YouTube ad revenue in 30 days from a brand new channel.
You have hit on the most important revelation of the entire analysis.
Tell me.
The $11,000 did not come from YouTube ad revenue.
I knew it. So where is the money actually changing hands?
Markel directs our attention to the very final piece of the viral post.
The end of the caption.
Right. After the jarring bathroom photo, after the massive data dump about click-through rates, and after the detailed budget breakdown, the post ends with a very specific invitation.
What's the invitation?
The creator announces they are hosting a free live training session on how to make 5 figures online using these exact AI tools.
A free training.
Yes. And to get access to this free training, the audience is instructed to comment the word guide to secure their spot.
Let me guess. Thousands of people commented.
Actually, no. Markel looked at the engagement on the post and verified that 84 people had commented the word guide.
Only 84. That actually seems surprisingly low for a post claiming to have generated $11,000.
It might seem low for vanity metrics, for likes and views, but for lead generation, 84 highly qualified individuals is an absolute goldmine.
Okay, that makes sense.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the entire post, the bathroom image, the data, the story about Claude was a lead magnet disguised as an objective case study.
It was all a funnel.
It was all a funnel. The story of Claude making money is just the top of the funnel. The real monetization engine, the actual source of the $11,000, is the back-end funnel.
What's in the back end?
It came from course sales, high-ticket coaching programs, and affiliate software commissions sold directly to the people who attended that quote-unquote free training.
That is wild. It's exactly like the illusionist sleight of hand we talked about at the beginning.
Exactly like
You are staring so intensely at the flash, the $750 budget, the 340% click-through rates, the weird AI avatars that you don't even realize you just walked right through the front door of a digital storefront.
You're completely blind to it.
You think you're reading an inspirational business diary, but you are actually walking on a conveyor belt through a highly engineered sales funnel.
And the psychology of asking people to comment a specific word like guide is actually a dual-purpose mechanism.
What do you mean?
On a technical level, it games the social media algorithm. A sudden spike in specific comments signals the platform to push the post out to a much wider audience, increasing visibility.
Right, that's just basic algorithm gaming.
Right. But on a psychological level, it is about micro-commitments.
Micro-commitments.
Yeah. But typing that word, you are inherently signaling to yourself and the creator that you buy into the premise, you trust their massive wall of data, and you are primed to be sold the ultimate solution.
It is brilliant, but it feels slightly manipulative if you don't know what you are looking at.
It can be, definitely.
Which brings us to the application phase. So what does this all mean for you, the person listening right now?
The big takeaway.
Yeah, if you are a new creator, an entrepreneur, or just someone trying to carve out an audience online, how do you ethically use this Hustleverse breakdown without just becoming a scammy clone of this post?
The core takeaway is a massive shift in how you interact with the internet. You have to stop consuming content passively.
Just mindless scrolling.
Exactly. When a piece of media makes you stop, feel something, or take action, you need to dissect why. And more importantly, you cannot just copy the surface-level story.
Right. Recreating an AI image of a woman in a bathroom and slapping some fake data next to it isn't going to build a sustainable business.
No, it's just cheap. It's the old saying, don't copy the paint job, copy the engine.
I love that. Copy the engine.
Precisely. You study the underlying blueprint. You recognize the power of a visual anomaly to stop the scroll. You understand how a process narrative builds technical authority far better than just flexing your result.
Right, showing the math.
Showing the math. You see how open loops force active engagement and how a comment-driven call to action successfully funnels traffic off the rented platform of social media and into your own ecosystem.
And once you truly understand that architectural framework, you adapt it.
Exactly. You apply that exact structure, but you fill it with your own genuine skills, your actual creativity, and real value. That is how a low-cost organic post transforms into a high-converting lead generation machine.
It's about seeing the matrix. Once you know how the trick is done, the illusion loses its power over you.
That's beautifully put.
You stop being the gullible audience member, and you start becoming the magician designing the show.
Which leaves us with a critical concept to consider as this technology accelerates, actually.
Oh, what's that?
We have just broken down how easy it is for a single creator to use AI to generate a highly convincing, data-heavy process narrative that funnels people into a sales pipeline.
Right. It's almost too easy.
So if AI continues to make generating these complex, authoritative-sounding illusions virtually free and instantaneous for anyone with a Wi-Fi connection, what happens when every single post on our social feeds is a brilliantly engineered, hyper-optimized process narrative?
Oh, wow.
How will we verify what is actual hard-earned expertise and what is just a synthetic story designed to harvest our email addresses?
A terrifying and fascinating thought to leave on. As the internet gets louder, learning how to spot the misdirection might just be the most valuable skill you can acquire. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep questioning what you scroll past, and we will see you next time.
Woke up to silence, dreams still heavy. Phone screen dry, but my vision stays steady. Mama said, baby, that job ain't your lane. But I clocked in anyway, chasing someone else's gain. Dad got me dancing with denial at night. Scrolling for hope, but it's hidden from sight. 10 minutes a day, sounded small at first. But in silence, even whispers can't quench a thirst. Notebook in hand, wrote my future in ink. Mapped out my mission before I started to sink. Every post was a prayer, every share had weight. I wasn't selling a link, I was shifting fate. I found my rhythm in the quietest place, where hustle meant healing and grind meant grace. From the corner of doubt, I carved my space. Legacy ain't loud, but it wins the race. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. People laugh, said she doing too much. Till my PayPal pinged, then they changed up the touch. No big brand, no six-figure crew, just a mic, some lyrics, and a dream that grew. Tired of waiting for the gatekeeper's call, so I built my own stage, held my own hall. Suno on deck, that's the beat in my chest. GPT spitting like I'm born to impress. Said I'd never make it, cool, noted. But now my bars turn pain into coated. From broken to branded, I ain't asked for fame, I asked for freedom and I claim my name now. Hustle berry on loop like healing chance, for the girls who grew up with limited chance. This is more than a challenge, it's breaking the chain. Cause 10 minutes a day rewired my brain. 10 minutes a day, brick by brick, built from the bottom, now the vision stick. No hype, no cap, just clarity. This ain't just income, it's legacy. Every click, every song I create etches my name where they can't erase. You can doubt, but you gon' see. 10 minutes a day turned into legacy. Now my daughter sees me different, eyes full of fire. She said, Ma, your words lift me higher. This ain't a hustle, it's a heart-led path, where math meets message and message meets math. Community over clicks, value over hype. I ain't here to trend, I'm here to type. Blueprints for the ones still stuck in fear. Let them borrow my belief till their purpose clear. Haters still quiet, but I'm loud with grace. Posting in peace, not a mask on my face. Every bar I drop, every beat I write, I'm freeing the